Hello and welcome to another episode of Comics with Stevie D. This is episode 19. Okay, today we're going to have a little bit of everything, but let's start with Spider-Man. This is Spider-Man Saga. It shows a bunch of his early villains and how he became Spider-Man and his family and stuff like this. Little bits and pieces out of a lot of different books. If you look at the back of it, it shows the origin right there. Kid goes with his science class to a laboratory and he gets bit by a radioactive spider and becomes Spider-Man. Spider-Man first appeared in comics in August of 1962 in Amazing Fantasy number 15, created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. This book recently sold for $3.6 million at Heritage Auction House. Spider-Man got his own book in March of 1963, and it ran for 441 issues until it went to the second volume. Altogether, there's been 6 volumes. Spider-Man could be said to be the most recognizable superhero on Earth, but I say it's a close tie with Superman. Alright, let's look at some other books I got for us. Now, Spider-Man, he was always in Marvel Team Up. And he'd team up with everybody. The Human Torch is kind of his teenage buddy, you know. But he'd team up with everybody. Most of the time with Spider-Man and someone else. And this is 20 Center. This is when I started collecting comics. I collected in 7th and 8th grade and didn't touch a comic book until I was in my 40s. I was with my son and we were driving down Gravois in St. Louis and I saw a VFW that said comic book convention. And I went back in and I got hooked on collecting comic books again and collected ever since then. Now, whenever somebody's title is not doing well, not selling a lot of copies, they'll stick Spider-Man on the cover. You know, there he is. And it boosts sales of that book, and Spider-Man, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, is on everybody's title. Here's a book I showed you before. It's just paying a little homage to Stan Lee. That's a good picture of him. Drawn in comics. Okay, the next few issues, as I was going through, I noticed I had autographs on some of my books, and I didn't ever ask for an autograph from anyone except the great trumpet player Maynard Ferguson. And this is a Captain America, the first appearance of his force field shield, and it's Mark Waid. These guys sign autographs all day long at conventions and stuff, and they start to write like doctors. This book, Miss Marvel, number 23, is a Chris Claremont signature. Here, I'll see if I can get it this way. And I want to send this book to Mike at Lunch Money Comics for the inspiration he's given me to create a comic book site and have fun with it. Mine's different than his. Everybody's unique and does their own thing. And this is another one that writes like a doctor. I have to open up into the interior page to read the artist's name. Of course, it's not on the first page, or the second. Or the third. Jurgens. Don Jurgens. There he is. And so I don't know if a signature makes the book worth more or less, or I think it probably makes it worth a little more, but that's not why I collect comic books. I collect them for the fun, the imagination. And this is Sean Chen. I can read his, an Iron Man book. There it is. And the cover's pretty cool too. And so those were my autographs. And I want to finish up with a book in really poor condition. This is The Incredible Hulk, King Size Annual number 7 from 1978. And it's the cover is just about torn off. I had to put some tape on it to hold it together. The staples are gone. But once you get past the first couple of pages, it's what's known to collectors as a reader. You're not afraid to open it up to damage the book if you go to read it. So it's still a good book to have. Let's say a guy's collecting comic book. Do you have Hulk King Size Annual number 7? No, I don't have it, but I do. So with that little joke, I will leave you guys. This has been Comic Books with Stevie D, episode 19. And I'll have another one coming up for you as soon as I figure out what to do on it. Take care. Goodbye.